Sup, fellas? This is Touching Tips.
Hey, Shaggers.
What's up, Shagger?
Welcome to Touching Tips, the pilot podcast episode. Today we are joined by Daniel J. McKenna.
Yeah, Dan Mckenna. We love Dan McKenna. We recorded this as a pilot episode. But we're going to just go release it. We're going to release it. We're going to see how it goes. This will be episode number 2.
Yeah, it's gonna,
2, unless you want to push it back further.
Could be 1, could be 2.
Could be 1, could be 2.
This is Julia Glasser. She was in episode 2. Spoilers.
BTS.
Yes,
you know about BTS footage there?
Yes, but if you're watching this, the episode, it was a fun one. Dan is Scouse. Dan has tattoos on his neck. There's other stuff to know about him, but he is one of our people. So do enjoy the episode.
He's also very funny. He's a comedian.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah.
I wasn't going to. He's Scouse and he's scary looking.
Yeah, he's terrifying, but he's also a good lad.
He's a good lad.
So make sure to give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter and all that. And down in, smash the subscribe button.
I guess this will be on YouTube. We haven't made a YouTube account.
Yeah, and then
we'll put smash that subscribe.
Mm-hmm. That's Julie in the background still laughing. Yeah.
Lick that notification bell. Welcome to Touching Tips. My name's Pete Carson. Your name's Cobin Millage. And our guest today is the wonderful Dan McKenna. Give it up for Dan McKenna, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I'm the first guest. I feel special. Wow.
Got any words there,
I feel
Cobin?
so comfortable.
Not yet.
Just clapping.
We'll find some words. I'm happy you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Welcome.
You're welcome.
So Dan McKenna is one of our friends who we have touched tips with. You featured
Many
on
times.
our show last year.
Yeah, had loads of fun. It was one of my favourite shows, The Fringe. It was my 4th show of the day.
Yeah.
And first show, I was loads of energy. Second, last, third, I thought I was dead. And I got to your show and I thought, this is great. And had loads of fun.
Well, that's good.
So thanks. And this is, have me on again, please.
Yeah. I mean,
we thought we would just do a 6 months later catch up to be like,
how things be.
This is functionally just an exit interview for everyone who did our show.
Yeah.
We're like, how do you think it was? And a couple people are going to be like, real bad, real not good.
I had loads of fun. I also, like I said, I was 4 gigs in, so I'd had a couple of beers by then. But also, I had a fantastic time. You guys had a nice room there. You had a peak time.
Yeah.
Fireworks, but, you know.
Yeah.
It's good.
I think that was my favorite moment of the Fringe was on our first show.
oh god.
When I think it was me hosting our first show.
Yeah, you hosted.
And I was up there and I was just talking to people. I was standing on a chair and then we hear the fireworks and me and you just looked at each other and it clicked and we're like, oh, that's why this was the only spot still available.
Shaba was sitting in the front row and he filmed that moment.
Of course he did.
He sent it to me as part of my vlog and I was like, what? At first I was kind of like, fuck you, Shaba. This is the most humiliating footage you could have. But it was Cobin on stage, so I was like, actually, I'm safe in this.
Yeah.
I come off quite well.
Yeah.
But not knowing that there was going to be fireworks at that time and nobody had mentioned it,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Because I've been round the grass market when the fireworks go off at that time and just been like, oh, this is great. And then it wasn't so great to be in a comedy venue being like, everybody just pretend it's not happening for 2.5 minutes.
Was it it was quite near the beginning of the show, wasn't it?
Well, it was close to the beginning, but not close enough to the beginning.
So you could just push the beginning back.
It's like 7 minutes in. Or something, sometimes.
You're getting ready to get the first guest on.
We're like, our next guest is going to be on shortly. There was a few times when I was hosting, I was like, ready, watch this. No, they haven't started yet. And I'd just miss. I was like, I just want to be like magic fireworks.
Did you ever get it right?
I think once I was like close. Oh. Like I pointed and I was like, and then they started.
Yeah. That's kind of funny, though, isn't it? If you kind of get it wrong. Like, a couple of seconds out, like, fuck, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's always funnier to get stuff wrong. I like when I'm hosting and there's other Canadians in, I always try to guess where they're from, but I always guess Toronto because 9 times out of 10 you're right.
Yeah.
And then if it's wrong, it's also funny, but if it's right, the crowd is like,
this guy knows his shit.
These Canadians know each other.
Yeah, they do. All know each other.
Yeah, and that plays into the stereotype, which I'm trying to shed, but you know.
Just out for a rip, are you, bud?
Oh, man. Have you heard that song, Pete?
I have not. What is the song?
So it's called Just Out for a Rip.
Just so for a rip.
No, it's Out for a Rip by Shark Tank.
It's so good.
It is.
There's a rapper called Shark Tank.
Yeah, it's just one dude. I think there might be like two of them in the group, and one does the producing and one's the rapper.
Reaper.
But
Raper.
Reappear.
I'm
Just out for a rip.
I'm typing one-handed, but I shouldn't.
What's wrong with the other hand?
Is that it?
Got a nice cold beer in it.
Yes.
Um,
Today's
Yeah, we do.
episode is sponsored by a Tennant's can full of bees.
Not the bees.
just
Ow, that hurt. One stung me on the way down.
Shark Tank. I'm getting loads of Kevin.
Rip, R.I.P. Just out for a rip, ya bud.
You should get the rights to this and use it as your song.
Just out for a rip, ya bud.
Oh my god.
Just out for
This
a rip.
this one?
Yeah,
The
that's the one.
Richmond?
That's the one.
That's the one.
Holy
Oh, Cobin showed us this on the way back from Hot Water the other day.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's-
right, so that's why it's fresh. But I'm pretty sure. I was maybe the other night we were playing Rocket League and you guys were just.
Yeah, that was
It's because
post
when you hear it, you'll be like, "Oh, this song fucks." Also, episode 1, we're putting copywritten content in.
Yeah,
so
you're
that's
gonna
not gonna
have to cut this out.
Yeah.
Oh, this is devolution, Pete.
Oh no, it's you still have the ad from the news playing in the other tab.
Oh,
Oh my god!
Hey,
Hold up, watch out! Northern Ireland's talking.
hey, so just the time recording, Michelle O'Neill makes history as Northern Ireland's first minister.
Yeah,
knee minister.
As a first minister, she's the first female first minister.
Ah, right.
Maybe.
yeah.
Good, but she's, as far as I'm aware, she's Sinn Féin.
I feel like.
So that's good, right?
Well, I feel like this.
Yeah.
This is all getting cut out anyway.
Yeah, oh, that's fine. All right, so out for a rip.
Just so for a rip.
Oh yeah. It gets louder, but like this is the Canadian national anthem.
Yeah, it should be. I have an idea for what the British national anthem should be as well.
I'm from the Great White North, right? Like up above the states, the big landmass that the rest of the world hates. We're like
I've
above that.
seen
Fucking
this.
north, I guess. The
It's
big
so
patch of
good.
trees where
Corbin, you put this on
everybody's
before,
bored to death. Just
yeah.
chilling up here,
Sipping syrup, playing hockey.
Before we learn to walk,
We can cross our property.
Just rocking plaid jackets, chainsaws.
We operate a fucking A right, we do, bud.
We cut our weight in firewood every 20 minutes or so.
Smoke break.
If the Leafs make the playoffs,
does imply that we
I'll
smoke
fucking
a lot
jump
more
in
than
the
we do,
fucking
which-
buddy comes over
Not a-
to my
not a big
place
thing.
the other night.
No,
He's
I
like,
didn't feel like
"Oh,
it was
for it."
Just for the cause of copyright content, I'm going to cut it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nice song, well produced.
Yeah, you couldn't listen to that probably, but go and listen to it. Go and listen
I
to it.
think I'm gonna. I'm gonna put
Link
a
in
clip of it
bio.
as it's playing. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to go and find it yourself on all good music things.
Yeah. I'm
got
on
it.
your streaming service.
You guys on Spotify? you guys listen to Spotify?
Yeah. I'm an Apple Music person.
You are, which I always forget about, and it makes me so mad.
Oh yeah. Anytime I tell people, they're like,
Sitting quite close to me smells like one as well.
Oh god! Is it just cheaper to have an iPhone and they're just like, just go with Apple Music?
Yeah, for me it was always like I just don't want 2 apps, and if you have Apple Music, you can set your alarms to play that song.
You can do that with Spotify as well.
Can you?
You can absolutely.
So I
do it.
should just be on
Yeah.
Spotify.
I don't think Spotify does that.
Yeah,
does it?
you absolutely can. I could set an alarm for 2 minutes and it'll go. You can do it. Oh, we
I've
can do it on
never
Pixel anyway, so
tried
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know
but I have an
about other
iPhone
stuff.
like an adult.
I think
Like an adult, like a fucking sheep.
I think I put
Okay.
the old school way to do it is to get MP3s of the song and
Underscore.
put it in the ringtone folder.
Yeah.
And then even then, my alarm clock you just get sick of that
Yeah.
fucking song.
You could have one song on your phone. That's when I remember phones. It was like, and you used to be MP3, so it'd be like ultra beat underscore pretty or whatever. Like, pretty
Ultra
unit.
Beats.
Yeah,
My
they were from Liverpool, I think. No, were they?
First-
I don't know.
Maybe.
my first phone that had an audible like MP3 ringtone, I had the Still Game theme as my ringtone, which was like you know Scottish teenager having that's like perfectly fine or whatever. But my cousin gave it to me, and I would chase my cousin around just being like playing the song.
Yeah.
And it was probably cut this out of the pussy. It was implied. Because I was a teenager, I was always implied that I was gonna try and fuck my cousin to the Still Game theme.
Keep that in. Keep
Yep,
that in.
keep that in.
Keep this in. Pete wants to fuck
Thanks
his
for
cousin.
listening. Yeah,
My male cousin.
Mate,
yeah, your female cousins?
No,
Not
man.
worth it.
No, not my
I
female.
like the way you
cousins.
tried to qualify that with like my male cousin. I'm not
Hey.
horrific.
Well, like I mean,
Doesn't
in
matter.
ancient Greece, it might have been acceptable.
Oh, classic. That's a classic pedo defense you've just done, mine.
Did you hear? Hey,
the
my cousin
Spartans
was.
used to take kids out and fuck them.
My cousin was probably like the same age as me. We were just horny teenagers done by the boardwalk. Our do you ever like Republican? I think he was on Survivor in America or something like that, and he's a Republican senator, and he put forward a bill so it'd be legal in Kentucky to marry your first cousins. He just really wants to fuck his cousin.
Yeah, I mean, imagine wanting to fuck your cousin so much you run for office.
Oh my god, that's the whole reason he probably became a politician in
Yeah.
the first place. Just like his cousin's like, no, it's the law.
What's
And
your
he's like,
first? What's your first thing as president, Mr. President? Well,
I've got someone to call.
an officer and a gentleman just like lifting up your cousin out of work and be like, we're going to
There's
fuck
actually,
in your
I
car.
think there's a bunch of U.S. states where it is legal.
that makes
already.
sense. I'm gonna
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
they're below the southern half.
Oh, there's some fucked up. There's some fucked up middle ones as well.
Well, like-
the Midwest. There's some weird ones. There's one, and it was like a meme for a while. There's one that has a law where it's illegal to hunt whales, which is perfectly adequate, but it's landlocked.
Oh,
I mean,
It's just in the middle of the fucking country, and
Yeah.
they're like, no killing whales here. And people are like, oh damn, how are we gonna do that
that
anyways?
one whale hunting guy, like with a really long net.
Yeah.
Like fuck, you fuck me over.
Shit.
Once again, bureaucracy gets its best.
Yeah. I think something that would be really funny is an aquarium that's a million miles away from any ocean.
Yeah.
Like as far inland as you can get.
Yeah.
It's just prairies, cornfields, and then just an orca just in a bath.
Yeah, it's like no orcas, and you're like, this is personal towards that one orca, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like you guys just don't like this one orca.
I mean, any orca that's in captivity, I'd argue.
Yeah.
They don't like that
No,
orca.
yeah, I'm with that as well. I want
Yeah.
it to be known legally.
what's the Vancouver Aquarium like?
So the Vancouver Aquarium, I used to go to it all the time because I lived in Vancouver, and it was like when I was back to the mental health stuff that we cut out from the earlier try of this. When I was super depressed, what I did was I got a membership to the Vancouver Aquarium, and I would go all the time and just stare at fish and be like, God, I wish I was a fish with no
Oh my
thoughts.
god.
It was bad.
That's like some Cameron out of Ferris Bueller shit.
Yeah.
That's definitely literally out of so many films I've seen. You ever seen a film called The Squid and the Whale?
Yes.
That's the end of that film. You just
Noah,
goes
yeah.
like,
Noah Boneback or whatever it is.
yeah, it's a sad
Oh yeah.
film.
Looking back, it was pretty sad, especially because like I was working on like film sets at the time, and then when I stopped working on film sets, so just all of my days were free. So then it'd be like a Tuesday, and I'd be like, "Fuck it, I'm going to the aquarium," and I'd go, and they would just be like, "Oh, we're having our sea lion exhibition, where there's just." Like the lady up there with a bucket full of fish,
Yeah.
just being like, "Look it, this is how we check the sea lion's teeth." And we go, "Smile," and they dangle it, and the sea lion goes. And then but it was just me by myself and just kids everywhere.
Oh my god, I love
and
that.
like I'd seen it a million times. So I was uninterested, but I was just glazed over. And I remember one day just being like, "This is weird. This is weird that I'm here."
You know,
watching
like
this."
all the staff members like talked about you as well.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that guy's back again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There
The
was
guy, you know the guy who sits there mumbling at fish? That
Yeah.
guy?
there was
He's back.
the other awkward thing is when you go in, since it's like a big tourist destination, it's in the middle of a big, really nice park, kind of close to downtown. Everyone goes there. So then on your way in, they're like, "We're going to take a photo of you," and it's one of those things where they don't give you an option because they want you to buy it on the way out. So you walk in and they're just like, "Stand beside this green screen," and then they take a picture, and they hand you a card. And like there had to be a few times because it was the same photographer every time. I'd walk in and he'd just be like,
This guy. Smile. Oh.
You're here. You're here again.
and he just But every time
Oh, we need
I think
those
there was
photos.
one time he took the photo and was like, and didn't even hand me the
Yeah.
card. And I was like, "We're friends.
We need those
We were
photos.
not friends.
I
We
think
were not
you need those photos because it's going to be like, you know, that was like the guy's like, I took a picture of myself every day, and then you see them getting older. It's just you getting progressively sadder.
Sadder at the aquarium.
and then happier though. Do you know what I mean? Like it'd be, I think it'll be uplifting.
when I went to Vancouver, I never went, but I remember when I was there, there was something in the news about it every day because it was just like Tom Cruise was filming something in Vancouver.
Yeah.
It was like Tom Cruise takes fucking what's his kid Cherie Cruz and Kelly.
No, we had kids.
What was his wife called?
Angelina
Holmes.
Jolie.
No,
Kelly Holmes.
Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes is
I was thinking Brad Pitt.
Katie
I fucked it
Holmes
up.
and
I fucked it up. I don't
Tom
know
Cruise in the
none of these
aquarium.
idiots.
And it's just like Tom Cruise just being really nice to reporters, just being like, hey, how are you guys doing? And
I'm
like,
a normal human. I do normal human
I'm a
things.
normal
Look at my
human.
normal human children.
Yeah. Well, he likes filming stuff in Vancouver because there's a big Scientology center there.
oh, really?
Yeah, it was like down the road from where I went to school, which was fucking mental.
Also,
And
loads of space to run.
Yeah.
God.
I went in there once.
Oh,
The
terrifying.
Scientology place. Well, I was like,
You get that test, can't you? Get the what's the test called that you can go in and
Oh.
get? It's called a personality test. Isn't it?
yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
And,
But
if you've got one, you're not allowed in Scientology.
yeah. Well, I would I'd walk by it every day with like my classmates. I'd be like, I kind of want to go in, and they'd be like, don't go in. You're exactly the kind of person they want to go in. So I was like, don't. And then I moved away from Vancouver and I went back just to visit, and I was like, fuck it. And I walked by it and just leaned in the door, and I was like, I'm taking this, and I just grabbed the first like info packet thing I could find.
Yeah.
I just ran away, and I like stepped outside and remember people being like, do you know where you just were? Like fucking. And I took it home and I was like, I'm not gonna read this. I just want it just to be like, look what I have. Because
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny. And then I was like, you know what? I am gonna read it. And I crumbled. And I remember sitting there and just being like, do I want to read this? Because my friends are right. I am the kind of person
Yeah.
who this is a slippery
I've
slope.
been
already.
kicked out the aquarium.
Yeah. And it was
I'm banned.
yeah, but like it was the height of COVID. I had nothing else to do, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna read this Scientology book." And I opened it up, and it was full of just very logical steps to not get COVID. There was not a word of Scientology in the whole thing. It was a health and safety book.
You just got the wrong thing.
Yeah. I reached in, I just grabbed it, and then like page 1, it's just like 5 feet is roughly the length of 2 hockey sticks, which is wrong. But you're like, that's all it was. It like there was like 8
That's
pages.
hilarious.
There was like 8 pages teaching you how to wash your
Is
hands.
that how you measure things in Canada? That
Actually,
is-
yeah, that was a thing in
You
Canada.
eat 2 hockey
Hockey
sticks,
sticks.
tall, eh?
Yeah, they were like
He's a
try
big guy.
to stay whatever the distance was 8 feet away.
Yeah.
They were just like, that's roughly the length of a deer. You're like, okay. Is the deer's head up or down? And they were like, it's up, but it includes the nose bit. And you're like, thank you very
Oh my
much.
God.
We all know exactly what that distance
Just
is.
Mounties trying to enforce that rule.
Yeah.
Hey, get a deer away.
Farther.
Your deer's dipping its head. Get away from there, eh?
Yeah.
I don't know what the accent was. Get away from there, eh?
Yeah, just before we get too far away from it, the Vancouver Aquarium had 2 animals which they'd given names to.
Was one of them COVID?
No. They probably had given me a
COVID.
name, but they never told me.
Yeah.
But
Pedophile.
there was that's hurtful. I was into the fish. Thank you. They had an octopus named Seth Rogen.
Of course.
Yeah, and then they had a seagull named Steven Seagull.
That's pretty good.
Why did they go? So they went for a pun with the seagull, but with the octopus, they were like, nah, no puns. I just want to call it Seth Rogen.
Yeah, that's because Seth Rogen's from Vancouver.
I know, but they went with a pun for the seagull. They were like, Steven Seagull. Yes. They couldn't think of a pun for octopus. I mean, I was trying to think
Well,
of one
you know
right
who
now.
Steven Seagal is, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I just gotta make sure.
That's what I'm saying. So they went for the pun for that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But when they were naming octopus, they were like, no more puns.
Just a guy who's from here.
We're just going to have a guy who's from here. instead.
Yeah. Well, it's Seth. Seth, not Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen, like cephalopod, like an octopus.
They
Yeah.
did. They went
Look
for
at
fun.
the only reason I could
I
the reason I can
apologize.
understand that joke
I
to you is
apologize.
because I went to that aquarium all the
Oh,
time.
yeah, we got
Okay.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
I apologize to the aquarium. They know
yeah,
what
I
they're
was-
fucking doing, mate, yeah.
Yeah. No, there were 2 puns.
Steven Seagal is on the nose, but Seth Rogen.
Seth
Yeah.
Rogen.
Cephalopod.
It's a thinker.
They
It's a
shut
thinker.
they shut down early and went to the bar after naming that one,
Oh,
didn't they?
100%.
They were like, we're done here, lads. We're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, I don't know. I love aquariums. I think they're so cool.
Yeah, have you been to Deep Sea World in Fife? Just
No,
above.
but I've been to the Deep Sea World in London.
It's not Deep Sea World, what it's called. It's called something else. Deep Sea World in London, how was that?
It was cool. It's weird because you're like walking through there and they're just like, this is what the jungles of the rainforest look like. And we have to keep water clean, and it's on the River Thames.
Alright.
So yeah,
the
it's like,
smelliest river of
we
all.
yeah, oh, disgusting.
There's a specific disease you can get if you fall in the Thames. Like, I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, it's called death.
No, it's something to do
If
with
you
the
swim
water.
in the
Jamie, can you
Thames.
look that up for us? Can you look that up?
It's like
The Thames
disease.
River disease.
Thames River disease, yeah.
The first time I was in London,
Called being a cockney twat.
Yeah. The first time I was in London, I was walking down the river It was like summer and it was
Cholera.
hot.
No, it's not cholera. There's
Cholera.
something else. I know what cholera
Cholera's
is.
active,
Coliform bacteria.
Ooh. It's
Carry a risk of gastrointestinal illness.
it's weird that there's multiple.
Yeah, I mean, it is
Yeah.
not. It's disgusting in there. To be fair.
Um,
Someone write in.
The Fife one, they've got a big tunnel. It's like a, I guess you're standing kind of like a big, belt, and it just takes you through this big tunnel. I think it's one of the biggest aquarium tanks in like Europe or something. It's fucking so cool.
Oh yeah.
And we went there all the time when we were kids.
Yeah.
And I remember they had like a snake exhibit, and there's a photo of me, a very pudgy child, and my brother, and we were like, "Can we see the snake?" And or can we hold the snake? And they were like, "The only way you can hold the snake is we take a photo of you, because we have to charge for the."
Yeah.
So I think it was like
the snake only does showbiz appearances.
it was something like
His appearance fees.
Yeah, he's got a ride that it's just one mouse.
I would never want to fucking touch a snake, be near a snake now.
Stop it.
But for some reason, as a teenager, or like maybe 12 years old or whatever, me and my brother were like, "Yeah, it's a fucking boa constrictor,
Wow.
massive yellow thing. There's just like coiling. The photo is like it coiling around us.
Yeah.
And I look at it, I'm like, oh, that's
Trying to kill a
fucking
child.
disgusting.
Oh yeah. I really like snakes.
Yeah.
I have a buddy back in Canada.
Fuck you then.
And his cousin, we were over at his cousin's place, and his cousin's a character. And we were just so drunk in this basement, and it's like an old person's basement. So it's got like the dark wood paneling,
Yeah.
and like the pool table light, where
Nice.
it's just the green light hanging down.
I've seen many films that.
Oh yeah, and it's just like red shag rugs across everything. Bought like the weird corner bar that no one uses as a bar, but it's there. And we're just hanging out and we're loaded. And he goes, "Hey, can you hold this?" And just hands me a snake.
Wow.
And I was loaded, and I held on to it for like 5 minutes before I was like, Jesus,
You thought it was a
snake.
Thought it was a pool cue.
Yeah, I had no idea what it was. And I was like, "Why am I holding this snake?" And he's like, "I thought you'd think it was cool." And I was like, "I don't know how I feel about this. This is bizarre."
I used to have a snake. I had a snake I got off my friend. It was a little corn snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do look like a snake guy.
It was a little corn snake, and his name was Charlie. And it got to the point where I was like, I can't really look after him. Like, I'd like him, someone to like take better care of him. And then I was on the train once trying to, like, I had a friend who was like, maybe could buy him. I was like, I was on the phone on this train in Liverpool, like, "Hey mate, do you want to buy Charlie?" And the rest of the carriage just looking at me like, "What the fuck is this guy?" And I was like, "No, Charlie, he's really good. This Charlie's really good, honestly." Like, and then looking at me like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. So that's my snake cocaine story. But it's true. I couldn't get rid of him, and then he died.
Ooh, what did he die of?
Old age, I think. It was. There was
can do that?
There was a long space in between.
Yeah.
Them two stories. I didn't knock it.
Okay.
I couldn't get rid of him, so I drowned him.
Do snakes live a long time? Or-
I don't know how long my friend had him before he was with me. But they're so easy to look after, to be honest. Like, you just need to like feed them a mouse every like couple of days, and you
Yeah.
sound.
A live mouse?
So no, he was on like they're called fluffs. So they're like the little frozen ones. But I used to keep them in the freezer, and my mum hated it. Like,
Oh, that's weird. Like,
and it's weird trying to thaw out a mouse.
yes.
That's
Toss
the
in
way
the
thing.
microwave?
No, because
Just inflates
They're
like
just-
a
yeah,
balloon.
you
You
just have
see
to leave it
little-
on the windowsill. I mean, like this is
Their
mad.
little legs start to go limp and
They start walking around like this.
Also, I feel like a dead frozen mouse, when you thaw it out, would smell quite poor.
Oh yeah, so as soon as it's thawed, you have to like lob it. Straight to
yeah.
the thing.
Our friend, she used to live in Easter Road. Gonna dox her. Gonna give her her address. She had a snake. She was like super vegan, but she still had to feed her snake mice. And I remember we were around at her house. We were under her house for a birthday party, and we're in the kitchen, and we saw a mouse, and all of the birds just started screaming, being like, "Ah, that's a fucking mouse! That's a fucking mouse!" And I was just like, "Just get the snake in here, and the snake will fucking take in the mouse." And she was like, "I'm not feeding my fucking beautiful snake that fucking rodent."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh, so all meat is not equal.
I don't see what the fucking difference here. It's like your snake has got a chance to eat a fucking live one. That'll be fun.
It gets to hunt for the first time in its life.
Yeah. But it was weird. It was like a vegan birthday party where like everybody was just like digging into this vegan cake, going like, "This cake is so good," and it was
tastes
the
the
worst
same.
cake I've ever had.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things like I'm okay with people being vegan, but there's certain things that just don't work as vegan. Like, I mean, I guess there is like beautiful cakes and stuff that, but you mean like, oh no, man, I need the eggs and shit.
I think vegan cooking's got a way to go.
Yeah, it's getting way better, but like not this New Year's, but the one
for
before.
sure.
There's a vegan pizza place across the road from
On over pizza.
Yeah, and it was
Shout it out.
so bad.
You didn't like it.
I hated it.
liked how fake it tasted.
Was it the base? Was it the
Well,
base?
The
See, also-
cheese is like
Oh, cheese.
the cheese is like not cheese.
Yeah.
It's
That's the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
it's got kind of the same texture.
But it's kind of, but it's just a little bit
Well, that's
raw.
one of the things.
Yeah.
Like vegan cheeses, I don't think like that's got to be very difficult to make something that tastes. Like
Yeah.
cheese. Like, because I mean, like some of I love the I was getting mixed up. Is it Linda or Stella McCartney that does the vegan stuff? It's Linda McCartney, right? Stella McCartney.
Oh yeah, they're pretty great.
Linda
McCartney?
McCartney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
he's-
vegetarian stuff.
the
mostly.
vegetarian spice sausages that she does.
Yeah.
Ooh, they're lovely, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, I like some vegetarian stuff, but the
Yeah,
pizza was so bad. Because also, I didn't know it was vegan pizza.
Ah,
I was like, oh, this sounds good. Pepperoni, fucking cheese, amazing. I just wanted a simple pizza. And then it was like, oh, because it's Neapolitan pizza, or however you say it.
Yeah.
There was like, oh, there's an egg on it. And I was like, fuck it, that sounds great. Vegan egg?
Veg.
That was, I remember eating it being like, what the fuck is wrong with it? And then it clocked that our friend Julia was vegan, and she said that, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a vegan pizza.
We-
That's why it's
We had to get vegan pizza because we were hanging out with Julia,
Yeah.
and I think she wanted to go to Razzo, which I just ordered from last night. It's fucking great pizza place. Because they do really good vegan pizzas, but it's like it's a while away. And she was like, "You just have an oven pizza, like literally across the street. I'll go down, I'll go pick it up. We'll all just eat it." And I was like, "I've lived here 5 years. I've never had a vegan pizza from across the street." So I was like, "Let's go for it."
What is
I like
vegan
it.
egg?
I would never order it again.
What's vegan egg though? Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I know like they make you can substitute other things, but like how would you substitute for egg?
I don't know, whatever they did
egg
that was
whites
wrong.
and stuff. I
Yeah.
can't imagine. It's
Yeah.
it's an interesting place.
Sprout.
Well, I know for like cooking with vegan egg. So if you're making falafel or something, you have to like rehydrate chickpeas.
Yeah.
And so you put it in water, and then the water rehydrates it. But then you take the chickpeas out, and the water that's left is disgusting, and it like kind of gets thick and has a really awful smell. But that's what they use.
Yes.
For vegan meringues.
I forgot about that. Yeah, it's the off water of
Yeah, 'cause
chickpeas.
what's the other name for
They're
chickpeas?
just using anything they've got. Vegans, I'm pretty sure. There's
They don't have that many options. They're taking what they can get.
But who discovered that? You'd be like, you know what, ming in the water. Let's whack it in a bowl.
Let's whip it up because
Yeah.
that's what they make meringues out of, and that fucks me up. 'cause
in terms of,
it
like-
smells vile.
If you're not allowed meringue.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
use that.
I mean, no,
yeah.
meringue's not that good.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
say
not like
it.
I have
Meringue's-
meringue every day of my life.
Yeah,
but when you have it just once a year or whatever, it's like it's pretty interesting.
yeah.
I walked by this like fancy coffee shop, and they had like big orange colored meringues. I was like, those look amazing, and they were like they were so big. I was
yeah.
like, hell yeah, I'm into this. And I was walking down the street eating it, just covered in dust, being like, this is not as good as I wanted it to be. And I threw like half it out, and I was like, "That's £9 down the drain." It's always so expensive too. You can't do cheap shit with that.
There used to be the Tesco just on the road. There used to be a vegan bakery around across it. I think Sugar Daddies. I think it was called Sugar Daddies.
Nice.
There's one of those in town. My mate is a teacher for like kids with learning disabilities, and they're meant to go to that bakery to teach them how to like make cakes and stuff.
That's cool.
But the parents and stuff were like, "It's called what?" Like, and they're like, "Yeah, it's called Sugar Daddies."
to a sugar daddy.
I think it was either like a gluten-free or a vegan bakery.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing a guy get an Empire biscuit from one of these places, just 2 bites, and the whole thing disintegrated just onto him and onto the ground, and he didn't even look at it as he looked forward. He just kept walking, and I was like, that guy's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
His 2 bites, his biscuit's just on the ground, and he was just walking like nothing had happened.
Just didn't
do you
break
do-
stride.
What do you do at that point now? Like, you know, you're like, well, I fucked it now.
I
Let's
would
go.
be looking at myself being like, I'm a fucking fool for like a while.
Yeah.
But he just moved on like it was meant to happen.
Like, he went and killed a person 30 seconds after that.
Yeah. He just needed a bit of blood sugar. He was
Yeah.
a diabetic serial killer or something.
You never heard about him, to be fair. You never think about it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Also, like I moved out here, Empire biscuits aren't a thing back home.
They should
could
be.
They could be so much better. Like they're so just all right.
Oh.
Like you get the ones from Tesco, or I've been to like bakeries and shit, and you get them. The only one I had, I was in Mark Hinch, fearing for my life.
Where the fuck is Mark Hinch?
Mark Hinch is I think it's in Fife.
All right.
But it's like it's pretty close to Lower Largo where Red Cap is.
Right. Fife, confirmed.
And so what happened was I was supposed to be going to Red Cap Comedy to do this show, and the way you have to get there is you take the train up to Mark Hinch, then you take a bus in Mark Hinch to a different town, then a bus to Lower Largo.
Jeez.
It's like a 3-hour journey, and the train drops me in Mark Hinch, and then there's exactly one bus. And it's like, and I was like, all right, well, it's going to be here in 15 minutes. Great. So I wait there for 15 minutes. Nothing shows up. I wait there for half an hour. Nothing shows up. I wait there for like 40 minutes. Nothing shows up. And I was like, fuck, I got to like figure this out. And Chelsea texted me being like, yo, good luck at the show. And I was like, I'm stranded in this shithole called Mark Hinch. She was like, I'm not too far away. I'm in Dundee. I'll come get you. Just like go find somewhere to vibe.
Yeah.
And so there was 2 bars. So then I go into one of the bars. This does relate to the Empire biscuits. But I go into this one bar, and it was like in Western movies where you open it up and then everyone just like
Oh, yeah, I love that type
just
of bar.
turns dead silent. And I just went,
I love that
I
shit,
just
mate.
waved and fucked off across the street.
Wow.
I run to this other bar. I walk in. I go, just a pint of Tennent's, and they look at me. They pour me the Tennent's. They give it to me. And then they go, that'll be £7.
They
And
saw
I was
you
like,
coming.
well, that was the thing. There's clearly a sign there that says £3.
No.
And they're just like 7 for this foreigner.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, fuck it, I don't care. And I paid for it. Drank it very quickly, had some time to kill. Ran over to this like super sketchy bakery, and that had what like the best Empire biscuit I've ever had was.
Wow.
Because it was big and wide, but it had like 5 of the candies on the top rather than just the one. And there was so much fucking jam in the middle of the 2 that it became, I was like, this is amazing. Because Empire biscuits usually just dry the fuck out of your mouth. And you're like, this is kind of shitty.
Do you like him? Do you like him with the jamming?
Hey, if you could take anything away from this, that's the honest review from a Canadian perspective.
That's it. The whole podcast just should be biscuit reviews now, I think.
Yeah. Oh, actually,
Empire biscuits could be bad.
I do have something for us to talk about. Just one sec.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
He's getting his dick out.
Touching tips with friends.
Touching tips.
Tips get touched. Touching.
I could only see it.
Touching tips. Touching tips. Touching tips.
Friends. Whose friends are you going to touch tips with next?
Yeah. So here's what it is. So
Fucking beer review.
yeah, I have these beers, right? And I think they're interesting, right? They're from a brewery called Beyond Belief Brewing, and their whole thing is they make these beers out of pasta.
Yeah.
What in
Yeah.
the Mario?
Yeah, so they have like 4 different ones, but I only have 2 here. So they have a Vienna lager, and I don't know if we're just gonna pass it around.
Carbonara.
Yeah, and then they have a pasta pale ale. Those are the descriptions. They're just the type of the beer with the word pasta in front of it. I've tried both of these, but I want to see what you guys think.
Okay.
Well,
let's,
what's pasta made out of? Just like wheat and
yeah, like it's
there'll be
Hops.
some
yeah.
Love.
There's
love. There'll be something that's in there that emulates an ingredient of beer, right?
Is this technically vegan beer then? If it's no, because pasta's egg and shit in it.
Yeah. Well,
sorry.
like good pasta.
Sorry,
it
Italians.
also may contain traces of egg. So
All right.
Not veg.
would you believe that our patented process means this beer is made from 50% surplus pasta?
No, I wouldn't
Well,
believe
it's true.
Oh, okay.
And it's still bold, flavorful, and full of character. This beer stays true to the Vienna style with malty notes of toffee and caramel. With a lightly hopped aroma and a crispy lager finish, this is a beer for any occasion. Enjoy!
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
What I want to know is where they're getting this excess pasta. They're just
Yeah.
going around Italian
Yeah.
restaurants at
Yeah.
night. It's just be
Yeah.
like,
Any
you
spare
got any
pasta?"
spare?
Yeah. There's just some guy outside an Italian restaurant and he's spare pasta.
Yeah. So the beers that you guys have been drinking have been Tennent's,
Yeah.
Very standard, run-of-the-mill beer. If you live anywhere on Earth, you've had a beer similar to it.
Oh, it's made of fresh Highland water. That's what we love about it. I just read
So
that.
it opened up and it immediately has a very thick foam coming out.
I don't know about you. I can smell Old Italy.
Have these been refrigerated?
Yeah, they're a little cold. They're a little warm because they're in my bag, but they're
They're not
Dan,
just
you
like
wanna go- you wanna go
chunky
first?
pasta beers.
I'm getting.
yeah. So this is supposed to be a lager.
It smells like your classic, like an IPA type smell.
Yeah, it's a lager.
Okay, what the fuck's a lager?
Lager.
Tenants is a lager.
A lager?
Like, lager.
I thought you were saying lager.
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 No, like you were putting logs in things, like people who chop down logs for a living.
No, loggers are people who take massive shits at train
For
stations.
everyone else, he means lager.
Lager.
Anyway,
So yeah, give it a snort.
Lager.
yeah.
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 Pasta.
I mean,
pasta beer.
I don't think I need to try it because I'm just gonna. What am I gonna say? Oh, it's beer. Oh, I like it.
It does. I mean,
It's weird. It's
doesn't-
not quite right.
I kind of want it to
Right.
taste like pasta. You know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna drink pasta beer, I want a carbonara like
Yum.
top.
Yeah.
Yum.
Like you crack it open and there's just
right.
little bits of basil floating on the
And
top.
do you know what? I get a weird. There is a weird aftertaste from it though.
I'd say it's kind of bad.
Yeah, it's
it's
kind of
not
like
good.
rust. It tastes rusty.
Yeah, it's not good. But it's just there's
So,
some
like,
novelty.
The froth on top or whatever
Yeah.
is it like leaves a weird residue in the can.
Yeah, and
Which is like common with stuff that's not traditional.
it leaves a
This
weird
is very
residue in your mouth as well, mate. Like
Yeah. Well, let's try this other one. So
Whatever you like. It's not,
what
it's
do you
not
think-
like tasty actually.
no,
yeah,
it's,
it's objectively
at
bad.
the beginning if it just tastes
Subjective.
like lager, and then
And the second sip is like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So out of 10.
solid 0, mate. I didn't like it.
There
Like,
we go.
no, that's like a 1 out of 2 because the first taste is good, but after everything after that is dog shit.
Absolutely terrible. And
9
Pete-
out of 10. It's still beer. I'll still,
9 out of 10.
like
it
true
gets you where you're
Scotsman,
going.
yeah.
It gets you where. Have you guys ever seen that Rusty Ranks on Instagram? No.
Rusty
So it's
Ranks.
this American guy called Rusty, and I think he's like. He starts his videos by just being like, "All right, everyone, welcome. This is Rusty Ranks beers. That's why I drink 12 out of 12 of them and give them a review."
What the fuck?
And then he gives reviews every 3 or 4.
That guy's gonna
And
get.
then by the end, he's just loaded. He's like, yeah, I got you where you need to go. 9 out of 10.
That guy's gonna get gout anytime
Oh
soon.
man, he's posted so many where you're like, you're gonna fucking die.
He's gonna get gout. Yeah, his
that
liver
reminds
is,
me
his
of,
liver has stopped working.
It's terrible. Let's
reminds me of a guy called Nick the Smoker on YouTube. Who kept getting banned, and he just like sit in his car smoking like cigarettes. He was like, "Oh, this is from Albania or some shit like that," and then he just smoked
Yeah.
a whole pack. And I was just like, "This guy's
Shit,
fucking."
these guys have found a
guy's
niche,
so
man.
cool.
That's what they should. That's
Nick the Smoker here. So you had this not an next beer, another beer.
Oh
for us?
yeah, next beer. It's the pasta pale ale. So.
Pasta Pale Ale.
And this one, it has weird
pale
foam
ale.
coming out of the top as
does
well.
have it
Not
has
as thick.
There's a strange little alien man as well. You might be able to see that. Pete will show you. I don't want to drink this weird little cum thing at the top. Anyway.
Yeah, what's it with the cum bubbles?
What is with the cum bubbles?
What is
Fine.
with the cum
Fine,
bubbles?
Pete, Google it.
Yeah, Pete, can you just Google cum bubbles and let's see what comes up?
Oh, let's just see what.
Well, that's we were hoping this would be a more
I
fancy
should have been
podcast, but we're
screen recording
googling
myself.
cum bubbles on.
Okay, so
episode
this one's a bit nicer.
Oh no, it's just porn. It's just all porn.
one. Pete, why did it come up in the search bar that you
yeah.
googled that already?
Why is it purple? You've clicked on that already.
Oh my god, I had a great idea for a sketch.
Welcome back, it's ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome back from the piss break. It's Dan Mckenna.
Hey.
Thanks.
Yes.
Successful.
Welcome
Successful.
back.
Thank you.
Was it a healthy stream?
Yes.
Good. That's what we like to hear.
It's split off into 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan, if you could design your own bar,
Ooh.
paint a picture for it. Like, just describe what it would be.
So I like bars with like low ceilings.
Okay.
I kind of like little like kind of dark, like those type of bars. You know what I mean? Like Edinburgh's got lots of them, but I love those type of bars where it's kind of like it's got like a warm feel as well. So almost like a jazzy, bluesy vibe in there.
That place, Mass feels a lot like that. Low ceilings, quite jazzy.
Yeah, I love bars like that. Like with nice warm lights and stuff, and lots of like leather wingback chairs and stuff. That's the type of place I would like.
You
to
sit
have.
down, you won't get up again.
But then at the same time, the music would be all like heavy metal and rock and so really off-putting for the vibe.
Would it be a venue for music,
Oh,
or would it just be a bar?
It
where
would be a
it was
bar,
death
and then I would. It wouldn't be death metal, so I'm not a big death metal fan. I am more like pop punk and stuff. But it would be a bar, but then it would also have like a venue space as well.
Yeah. Okay. That's
So
nice.
I love that. Yeah, I just love that type of vibe, you know. And it's, I guess, like it also comes from like doing comedy as well. When you go in somewhere and you see like a low ceiling,
Yeah.
and you're like, this is going to be great.
Oh, yeah. What would it be called?
I don't know. What would it be called? What do you guys think? Dan's pants.
Dan's Pans?
I don't know.
The low ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
room. I don't know. The
Lower than low.
Just low down? That's it.
Lower than low.
low
Dan.
The low down.
The low Dan. I don't know why I have to have my name in it. Like I'm some. Well, I am an egotistical maniac.
Yeah.
We do comedy, so
Yeah.
it'd be like low ceiling, lower standards.
Would it like what kind of stuff? Would it just be like your run of the mill bar, everything you could ever want is just there?
Yeah. So it'd be like I like saying it'd be very much like a pub in Liverpool. It wouldn't be very loads of like different IPAs and stuff. It'd just be like you can get your couple of beers, you got your couple of ciders, you got your all your spirits and stuff.
Yeah.
I am partial to like an IPA and stuff sometimes, but I think it goes too far sometimes. I went into Brewdog and it's like,
Oh, Brewdog sucks.
what the fuck?
Their
And-
beer is so unenjoyable because it's at least when you go in for a draft or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I can give you a third
Yeah.
of that pint, which is like 20%, and it just tastes like burning on your tongue.
Yeah, and the people like who work behind the bar are so it's like that old stereotype of old Starbucks, like they can't wait to tell you you're wrong. That's what I feel. You know?
Brewdog is a shit company.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love that. I love their punk IPA. I really like that beer. Like, but
I don't drink them anymore just on principle because of your man. Punky
oh,
IPA.
are they a shit?
Oh yeah. The
Well,
owner's a piece of shit.
James,
Recently, I think
he's just always been a bit of a cunt.
Whoa.
yeah. Recently, it came out.
Are you pretending that you don't know?
No,
this?
I honestly don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But
lying,
I guess
don't know.
everything I've learned about him is from Twitter. So I guess
Oh, I stay off Twitter.
yeah, a little Scottish. So I mean, he's just a wanker.
Yeah,
Alright.
like he's
Generally.
a dickhead.
Like the Weatherspoons guy.
Is
Yeah.
the Weatherspoons guy a bad dude?
Oh yeah, he
This-
he refused to pay loads of staff over lockdown.
Yeah.
Sacked them loads. Yeah.
He's a big Brexiteer. And
Oh,
all
he's
that
a big
stuff.
Brexiteer. Yeah.
But like the
Suck
James
the Queen's
Watt, he recently he emailed everybody around the company being like, if you're a new start to the company, we're not going to pay you the real living wage. And then as he was, rolling this out, like he was on holiday at like a massive fucking like beach resort with his girlfriend from the telly. I think his girlfriend's off of fucking Love Island or something. And they
that
were just
doesn't
like,
count, does it?
they were at like in Hawaii or some very.
That's not real
That
love.
doesn't count. No, doesn't count as the telly, does it? Like, do you know what I mean? Like off of the telly, I think like a proper celebrity, not some like, oh, but I'm on Love Island. Oh, fuck that shit.
That is what they
But-
sound like on that show.
It is.
But
I,
just like-
I watch it through a weird TV. That's how they also.
Mr. Bean TV.
Yeah. I always put on the bean filter.
I think the optics were just bad because it was like, you've just been spending like something like a 50 grand for your holiday and you're not going to pay any of your staff the wage they deserve.
Yeah.
They've also had like problems in Glasgow. I remember a bunch of Brew Dog staff quit because of sexual harassment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the complaints were not heard about when they got to the HR level. But a lot of the time, the main thing they would do is they would fuck over marketers. So marketers would bring them fresh ideas for ad campaigns.
Yeah.
And they would have an interview and they'd be like, okay, bring your portfolio. You got any ideas for this campaign or whatever? And then do the interview and then call them being like, sorry, we're just not going ahead with this. Then months later, they would see their work on a billboard.
Oh my god.
And it'd be like, oh, well, we didn't really, we didn't use your idea per se, but you did inspire us. It was like, you didn't pay me anything.
Scumbags.
You didn't hire me.
All right, scumbags. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
know this.
I drink it if I get given it. But like I kind
Yeah,
of...
no, you don't.
That's
buy
a
that
different. Oh, I didn't know. As of now, I'm not buying it. I didn't.
We've got a new
I didn't
boycott.
know.
We've got a new
I
boycott.
didn't know.
This
Dan
podcast
Mckenna
boycotts
officially
fucking Brewdog.
We boycott Brewdog.
We're never gonna touch tips with Brewdog. Never.
mate.
Not once. Ain't no way.
No, but I'm all
Unless-
fucking. I'm so left wing, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
don't like any of that shit.
All I said to my friends, if a French show there,
Nice.
I mean, just, I don't know. I might go and just see the French show. I don't know, maybe have a pint. Maybe I'll have a drink there.
Cut to next week and you see me like, I'll have a Brewdog.
I did a weird cabaret show at the Brewdog on Nicholson Street a couple weeks ago. It was so strange.
That's the
'cause-
Doghouse, no?
No, not the Doghouse. No,
Oh, you mean you're talking about Lothian Road?
Lothian Road, yeah, sorry, Lothian Road. But like
Get your roads
an
right.
hour before it started, I just got a message from one of our friends who was like, "Hey, can you fill in for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll go." And he's like, "Great, here's the person's information. Can you send him your bio?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I send over the little blurb about myself, and I walk in, and it's a cabaret show, but it's me doing comedy. Alexis, the magician, was there,
Good guy.
and then just burlesque acts.
Nice.
There's so many. And I was like, I didn't really want to be here anyways. Can I go on first? And she's like, yeah, of course. We thought that would like really set the tone. But then she spent like 10 minutes explaining to people how burlesque works. Being like, if they pose kind of suggestively, cheer like this, and then had everyone go, woo. She's like, and if they start taking clothes off, cheer, woo. Or if they do something you like, cheer, woo. And just getting them all on board. And I'm there and I was like, I don't like how this is going so far.
It was quite a small room.
Yeah, and it wasn't
there before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it wasn't really a room. It was just sort of like off.
Pete was doing burlesque though.
Yeah, no, I did.
Pete was there, but I
Yeah.
tried not to make eye contact
Sure.
with him. I was staring at his tits the whole time.
I got some
Too
pretty
busy
good.
wooing.
I got some good ones. I got some good
Yeah,
breasts.
But she did something which was the worst minute of my life. I think I told you in Show about this. She's about to bring me on stage. She's like, okay, so that's how burlesque works. Anyways, we're going to bring a comedian on first. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, let's go. And then she goes, so our first act, his name is Cobin Millage. And then she just brings up a piece of paper and she reads my entire comedy bio off of it, which it's only like a paragraph and a bit. But that was the longest thing ever because every comedian's bio is just wanky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so bad.
It's selling yourself, isn't it? It's horrible.
Yeah.
Like it's part
Yeah,
of
Pete wrote the first line of mine, which is descending from the Rockies of Canada. She said that, and I was like, fuck. And she just read the whole thing. And I was in the corner just going like this, but it was just a room. There wasn't like backstage. She looked at me and started reading it, and everyone just saw me just.
Oh no.
I've never had that happen. I've never had that happen before.
Descending from the Rockies of Canada sounds like you're a wrestler about to get introduced to the Royal
Yeah,
Rumble.
or I was in
Descending
hiding.
from the Rockies of Canada.
Descending from the Rockies of Canada, here to take on the Boogeyman in WrestleMania 24.
Hey,
It's and then
Tobin
and then I go
Miyagi.
in and immediately get fucking narked, just killed.
Yeah.
Murked, not narked on.
Narked.
I show up and the other wrestlers just like
Yeah.
I saw him jaywalk.
Get knocked by a logger.
Logger, that one's coming back in.
Yeah.
I'm drinking the rest of this, and I want to say, Beyond Belief Brewing, suck my dick.
It is
This
brilliant.
is so bad. This is not good.
I mean, well done on the effort for getting trying to get pasta in a can.
Yeah.
I think for years people have been like, when are we gonna have pasta in a fucking can? You tried. I think actual bolognese sauce in a can would be nicer.
Yeah. What I think would be
I you know what? I might drink that bolognese sauce in a can.
hey, that's
does
something to
come in
bring to
cans.
the.
No, but like a
like glass jars, I guess.
no, like a can. No, like a can.
That was so bad. I don't know if you can see his feet on that, but he said can and then immediately started moving his feet to do
No, like
the
a
dance.
like a can, like a drinky can.
Yeah.
a drinky can.
You guys know how when you finish a Guinness, it has the widget in it? I'm expecting to finish this and just shake it, and there's just a piece of fusilli in it.
some ravioli at the bottom.
Yeah.
I haven't had that for a while. Yeah, I forgot about the Guinness and the widget.
That's a whole hot topic. And we used
First time I ever was drinking, it was Guinness. And I would just tell people, I was like, what's with this weird fucking can? And people were like, shut up. Just
Well,
drink it.
I used to work in the cinema, and we had the Guinness we had there was the one that was in the can, but it was activated by a shaky plate.
Yes.
There was surge activated, and you'd pour it out, and people were like, "That's not poured properly," and you'd be like, "Wait a second," press the button, and the magic had happened, and you'd be like, "How's that working?" I'd be like, "I don't fucking know, mate.
The Monkey
I
Barrel's
get paid
got that,
minimum
no?
wage. I don't know."
So, yeah, when I worked at
Sage
Monkey Barrel
cans,
Comedy
I think.
Club, shout out Monkey Barrel, they had Guinness on tap in one of the venues, but in the other one, they just had this big machine where you just take the can of Guinness, and it doesn't have a pop top on it or
Yeah.
anything, and you put it in, and you press a button, and it was an expensive fucking machine.
Yeah.
Pretty much what it did is it punctured the can and then just poured a Guinness. But it would wait the proper amount of time, and then at the end you'd have a very poorly poured Guinness. But
So
also
when
we
you're
tried it
talking-
one time. They sent us some other ones, but they were for the different device because Guinness has a whole bunch of
Yeah,
Guinness.
it must have been the Sage one, which was a little plate. That's what we had.
Yeah, well, no, they had another one where like the hand thing that you put it in, like it was so weird. Like because we looked up and we're like, that makes no sense. It was like a different sort of machine where you put the Guinness in, and then it added the nitrogen to it as it went.
Why Guinness trying to be like a weird Rube Goldberg machine?
It was so
Yeah.
stupid, but we tried it. We
10
just
things happen. You get pulled.
we just took a knife, we just popped it and just like kind of squeezed it and shook it out.
Yeah.
Guinness. It was easy. We're like, this is so fucking
The
egregious.
Surge one is cool.
Yeah, it
I've
is like
seen
magic
that
because it's flat
places.
basically, and then
Yeah.
But the one at Monkey Barrel, I remember seeing Mal. I don't know if anyone was in it. It's maybe just Mal, just like reaching behind the bar, just
Shut up,
making
Mal.
a fucking Guinness.
Yeah.
And I watched him do it and the whole process, and then take it away. And I was like, "How is that?" And he's like, "Nah, it's not very good."
It's straight up not.
I don't like Guinness anyway. To be honest, it's like a meal in a.
Yeah.
It's too heavy for me.
Yeah, I've had one night where I drank like 15 Guinnesses and I just wanted to die.
Oh, you
It
must
was
have been
so bad.
shitting physical bricks the next day.
buddy, it went in and came out the same color.
Oh my god, yeah. You must have made like a little igloo out of all the little poos you had.
Yeah, pretty much.
Little dark igloo.
Yeah.
I rarely drink Guinness, but when I do, I have a great time. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll pick it up a bit more.
Something weird out here is that you can't drink in stadiums and shit for football.
Yeah, football, yeah.
But in rugby you can, but that's
Yeah.
different thing
Rugby.
altogether. But
It's
in Canada you can drink in every stadium and it's fucking awesome.
It's because we can't be trusted.
Yeah.
I would love to drink in the stadiums, but in
But
football.
you
But I
pick
also
a fight within a minute.
yeah immediately, and I'm not a violent person, but I would be well into it. Like we went to the ice hockey here.
Yeah, fuck it.
Shout
Ooh.
out Capitals. Yeah,
Let's go Edinburgh Capitals. They're the only good team.
Capitals.
But
Let's go Capitals.
also, for the record, the worst hockey I've ever paid to watch. It's so bad.
Canadian Army, fucking hell.
How much were the tickets? They were like £8 or something.
Honestly, it's a great experience though. Going.
so
Yeah,
good.
it's a
Do you
lot
know-
of fun.
Do you know why? Because you get to watch like people beat jizz out of each other, and you get to drink in the stands.
Yeah.
It's fun. Just
Me and
getting
Coben had like
pictures of it.
4 pitches between each.
Yeah, on your birthday we
Yeah.
got
My
fucking
birthday, yeah.
ruined, and then we had to walk most of the way back to yours, and we were steaming.
Yeah.
We chatted with the guy on the bus about because he was wearing a Seattle Kraken jersey.
yeah, and he was
We're like,
talking
we
about-
were at the hockey, and he was just like, "Oh, I don't know anything about hockey." And we are like, "Well, we do," and we just kept talking to him. Yeah,
Because he was wearing a
real fan.
Kraken.
You think you like poking?
yeah, Seattle Kraken, the NHL team in Seattle.
You think
So-
you like
but he
hockey
was like,
named
I don't know
three
anything
teams?
about
Yeah,
hockey.
he was just wearing the jersey, and it's a sick jersey. So I was like, "That's a fucking cool jersey. You guys are
cool
doing well."
jersey. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And I was like, "Cool."
But you should get if you get a chance, go to the hockey. Comes to the hockey. It's so much.
Pete's
fun.
gone with us. He came to the teddy bear toss.
Yeah, he did.
I did. It was not your birthday.
No,
I think
it
I
was
was.
a
I think it was
different-
busy on your birthday.
It was the
and
teddy bear
then
toss. Yeah.
I met you at Uno Mass later, and everybody was just steaming, and I was
know,
like,
I know.
I want to go home because I was so sober.
You were ill.
I think
Pete
it was
was sick.
ill.
You were ill. Do you know why? Because
Yeah.
because I was ill for for about a week after that. And I think you gave me it.
Man, that's
Yeah, maybe it was me.
It's fine.
I'm typhoid Mary when it comes to.
To be fair though, like when I'm
illnesses.
drunk, I'm just like I hug everyone like all the time
yeah.
I think.
in a consensual way.
Yeah. Nope. Nope.
I wasn't feeling that well, so I didn't come. But then we went
Wow. Just gonna let that sit.
before.
Yep.
I think you were on at Hoots that night, Coben.
Oh yeah.
And,
that's why I didn't stay till the end of the game because I had to go to Hoots.
So that was
Yeah.
fun. But I got the tram back with you guys.
Yeah.
And I was fucking burst.
Yeah.
You guys were going for dinner.
Oh, we did, yeah. Because
You guys didn't even go that hard that time.
No.
I think I drank a lot of the. Well, we shared pictures.
Yeah, we had about-
But I probably had the lion's share just because I was just.
Well, I was down in them. Yeah. Manny didn't want any, but yeah. This is good content. Want to ask me any questions?
You ever seen? Sorry, I'm gonna loop back to the thing I was gonna say. You ever seen a bottoms up cup?
Bottoms up cup. Oh, is that what you put them down and it fills it up from the bottom? Yeah, I experienced them in Prague for the first time, and again,
So cool.
I was like, "What is this fucking magic?
Yeah.
like what is this, mate?"
Yeah.
It's a pint cup for
so
like
it's
sports.
it's a pint glass and has a hole in the bottom, but a metal ring around it, and then a magnet. So then you press it on, and it fills from the bottom, so it goes right to the top.
Yeah, man.
Then you lift it up, and the magnet seals it.
Don't
Oh,
explain the
wow.
magic behind it. You'd be out of the magic circle.
It's not magic. It's very easy.
You're out of the magic circle now, Kevin. I hope you know.
Shit. That's a shame. Sorry, Shaba and Alexis the magician. Do we have any other questions for Dan?
Format.
Let's.
Yeah, we have to figure out more of a format.
Yeah,
but
this
I
has
said
been.
this is a good start.
I've had a great time, but I don't know how much you'll be able to use.
who's your favorite? Well, we could do the SCF shout outs and shout downs. So I mean, who's your favorite comedian in the scene at the moment?
On the scene, that's not massive. Okay, so if I'm not saying,
oh no, just anybody.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
anybody.
no, I'm gonna
people in our stratosphere.
in our stratosphere, my favorite, one of my favorite comedians on the scene is, who do I like? I really like Cobin Millage and obviously Pete Carson. Goes without saying. I want to be invited back.
Thank you. You won't be, but carry
Who is my
on.
favorite? It's hard, man, because I'm my favorite. No, who do I love watching? Alvin Bang is fucking class.
Yeah, he's taking off.
Alvin, Io, and Dennis
Alvin,
Cameron.
Io.
Yeah, I gave with
Io.
him yesterday and he crushed it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's one of those where he just seems to got in between about a space of 1 month. He got so good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy is nuts. Jack Trainer, absolutely love Jack. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely nailing it as well.
3 young twinks. You know.
That's how you like them, innit? Pete?
Real quick, Pete is allowed to say that because of his preferences.
No, because my
Me
gender-
and Tan cannot.
my
Pete
gender-
can.
Yeah.
I think anybody can say it. Just
You can
generally.
say it. You just got to deal with the backlash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Pete
I'm
doesn't
not,
have to
I don't want to deal with
I
the
mean,
backlash.
I say twinks
Pete-
as
Pete
in they're
lo-
like 22 years old.
Pete loves the backlash.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
his preference.
Yeah. Ha, suck it.
But yeah, I love those guys. Who do you hate most?
Wow. This guy called Shubba.
Here's what we'll do. We'll bleep the name. You can say it and then talk about them.
Oh, no, I'm not going to do that.
No, that would be weird.
Because you won't bleep the name.
We will.
That would be weird.
No,
in the context. Maybe we do that in future episodes. Be
Yeah,
like, go
no.
on, say it.
I don't
We'll
want to
bleep
say.
it for
I
you.
don't want to
pussy.
say people who I hate. I think it's one of those things. It's human to be like to get a little bit like jealous or to be a little bit bitter. Sometimes it's just like you've got to just rein it in. Like you've got to be like, okay, I felt that emotion, and then be like, well, actually, like I'm not gonna do anything which makes which like towards those people and be like, oh shit.
I'm trying to be
it's,
as
like,
positive as I
Yeah.
can these days
And it
towards
is.
anybody with any semblance of success because I feel genuinely like happy for them. Like it's just
Yeah, and that's the overwhelming feeling, isn't it? And I think that's the most important thing. Is like we were saying yesterday, there's space for everyone.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
no one's taking away anyone's airtime and stuff.
There's enough gigs to go around.
Sometimes I just feel like I don't like. You're like, how is this happening? Like when there's other people out there where you think, well, they surely should be on that gig, but it's like you said before, everyone's on a different trajectory. Some people have to grind more. Some people have to do empty pub gigs.
except for those that are shite.
Yeah. Some people just do it forever.
We'll try and be as possible,
you ever
positive
heard-
as possible, and then they're like, aye, but that cunt. Yeah, you know who I'm on about.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be fucking. I'm kidding.
Have you
I'm
ever
kidding.
heard my duck joke?
No.
Hey, don't.
Davey Mitchell is never gonna listen
Oh my
to this.
God.
I'm not sure Davey Mitchell is aware of podcasts.
Hey, but Davey Mitchell,
Can he hear things?
bloody legend. Hey,
He
love
is.
Davey.
The worst kind. Or he's so
Well,
The
is-
worst kind of legend is still a legend.
Is there a point where you guys think if I'm doing this for 10 years and I'm still at the same level, you want someone to tell you, right? I mean, if you're not
Yeah,
just
you
doing it
gotta
for
be like,
fun.
stop doing it.
Because obviously, if you're doing it just for fun, fair enough. Fair folks do
Yeah.
what you
yeah,
want.
if I'm still getting at the rate I'm going at and I'm at the same level
Yeah,
in
but-
10 years, I'm like
Because,
I
like,
can't do this.
I'm assuming here, like, we're all trying to gig to get to somewhere higher, right?
Yeah.
So, like, but if you're,
yeah.
I mean, well, fair enough if you're not, but if you
No,
are.
I mean, I think I go through phases where I'm just like, stand up is like a hobby, and then sometimes I'm like, oh, but you could also build a lot of things from
Yeah.
doing stand up.
We could build a podcast empire.
Yes.
But yeah. So, I mean, in 10 years, if I'm still the same rate I'm doing, I will have something fucking bad must have happened.
Yeah.
Or I'm just not able to get past that stage into being like a headliner or whatever.
But that's the
I'm
thing.
probably fine with that. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Not everyone's going to be like the sellout headliner and stuff, is it? You know what I mean? Sometimes you're just going to get to a certain level, and that's fine. But I think everyone, if you really put your mind to it, you can get past the open. If you want to, and like not because like it. Something you can kind of learn. Obviously, there's people who are naturally funny, but there's things you can learn. There's routes you can go. There's tricks you can do almost. Do you know what I mean? And you can get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm gonna go past just doing pub gigs. You know what I mean? I think that's a possible route. I do think, and even in doing it in my short time I've been doing it, there's people who just disappeared after it. They just stopped doing it, and that's also fine. But I think half of the battle is just keeping on. And especially yesterday when I did feel the green-eyed monster a little bit, I was like, oh, what's the point? And then you've got to be like, no, like that's what your subconscious is trying to tell you to do, trying to tell you to stop, trying to tell you to give up, because what's you know what's the point?
Yeah.
And you're like, you've got to fight against that, because it's almost, I don't know about you guys, but I get that as well as almost in like you're not going to be good enough anyway, so don't make a fool of yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think everyone who steps on stage maybe feels that at some point.
Absolutely. You gotta just not let it get to you.
Yeah,
like,
you've got to
be
through.
not a bigger person or whatever, but just like a person who's not threatened by other people's success.
Yeah.
But like,
Or you can be, and it'll suck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this happened to me. Bro, the last time it really happened to me was like, there's like a difference between being like jealous and then being like angry to see somebody because they're so good, and you're like,
yeah, that's different.
I don't mind. See, personally, I don't mind being mad at people who are good. Like whenever I see like Jack Trainer or Dan, I was making fun of him before. And I can't remember if it got
you're
cut
angry
out.
yourself.
But like Dan Petrie, you're just like, fuck those guys for being so good.
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm so stoked for them. Like, guys,
Yeah, that's it. You make it like I've seen IO loads, and I've said to him, mate, you can go fuck yourself. Why are you getting so good? Do you know what I mean? There's that kind of like you're still like, but you're like, well, I'm so happy for you, like doing so well.
yeah.
Like,
I think a lot of my favorite comedians in the scene and stuff, I've seen that way. Like I remember doing a set that was like, oh, it's fine. It was such a good set or whatever, and then seeing two different people go up and just destroy so hard that it's all anybody wanted to talk about, and I was just like, fuck, I got so much work to do.
Yeah.
Like it's just, that's all it is. It's just like, I'm angry at myself because I got complacent with what I was doing.
Yeah.
but also I think like because there will be some people who do it for like less than a year and just rock it up, and they deserve to be there.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you see people, like we were at a gig the other day, and then we all went up. It was fine. And then the headliner was on, and they've been doing it 16 years and just nailed it. And you're like, okay, you can see what.
Well, if we're talking good, we can say it was Laura Davis.
Oh yeah, Laura Davis. Yeah,
amazing. Fantastic.
Absolutely incredible. I forgot her name, to us.
Yeah.
Where is she?
She's incredible.
She's not based around here though.
She's now. She was
just moved here.
Australia.
Yeah.
She was an Aussie comic who came up here, and
when someone goes on and just like it was like a weird crowd because they were like laughing, but they were more smiling than laughing. It's kind of like they were enjoying it, but not. You need one or two people in the crowd who are going to laugh. And then everyone else.
Those are weird crowds because like you'll hate yourself,
but they enjoyed it.
Then you'll see them and they'll be like, good.
Yeah, they really enjoyed it.
You can see that they're smiling. You didn't get a laugh out of them, but you'll be like, fuck.
Yeah.
Why didn't I get more laughs? And it's just the type of people they are.
She absolutely rocked it, and then she was like, "I've been doing it 16 years." You're like, okay, that's the thing for most people. It's just the grind, carry on going, keep going at it, and then honestly, you're just like, wow, absolutely incredible.
yeah,
Nailed it. Yeah.
Also, we've been going for quite a while, so that's probably where we should wrap it up.
For,
last question. What's our last question?
Will you touch tips with us? Will you touch tips with us?
Always. Thank you very much.
Touch tips.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Cobin Millage. That's been Pete Carson.
I've been Pete
This is
Carson.
Dan McKenna.
Thank you very
do you have
much.
anything to plug?
Just my socials, Dan McKenna Comedy. Follow me. I do scouse things sometimes.
I do sometimes.
Thank you guys very much. This will be the first one, maybe. This will be a pilot, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Good night. Cheers.
Nice.
Cheers. Touch tips forever at any opportunity you have.
What? Do you want to stop that then? We can.